Where are the 12 tribes of Israel today? Are they still around? Many people believe that they were dispersed among the nations, but is that true? Now, when you read Genesis 49, the entire chapter, you find that Jacob is telling his 12 sons what they would be at the end time. He gave them characteristics and he gave them symbols. So we're going to be using history, the identifying characteristics, and their symbols to help identify these tribes today. Now we're continuing this series on the 12 tribes of Israel and where they are today. And we're going to pick up on Zebulon, Issachar, and Judah. And they were located on the east side of the camp in the wilderness.
Zebulun shall dwell by the haven of the sea. He shall become a haven for ships, and his border shall adjoin Sidon.
So he would be on the shoreline, and that's what we want to talk about, where he is and who he is. Now, and I believe that they are the people of Holland and the Netherlands. Now, the people of Holland and the Netherlands have always been involved in merchant activities, and they were involved in fishing, whaling, harvesting of shellfish. They've created dikes and canals and ports, and they've created ships. In fact, Dutch has been known for centuries to create some of the world's largest merchant fleets.
Deuteronomy 33:18. And of Zebulun he, being Moses, said, Rejoice, Zebulun, in your going out, and Issachar in your tents.
The fact that he lived next to the sea and the fact that he was going out would either infer that he was involved in shipping or in some kind of merchant activity. Also notice that 33 verse 19.
They shall call the peoples to the mountains, and there they shall offer sacrifices of righteousness, for they shall partake of the abundance of the seas and of the treasures hidden in the sand.
And we can't forget that Royal Dutch Shell, commonly called Shell Oil, is a Dutch gas and oil company headquartered in The Hague in the Netherlands. Now, oil would definitely be an example of sucking treasures from the sea, as well as the diamond mines that the Dutch discovered in South Africa. The Netherlands and Holland are located basically on the harbor. Now, these people that were the Dutch went into South Africa, they went into Australia, and they went into New Zealand. And the Dutch settled also in New York, which was again on a coastline. So they tended to stay near large bodies of water. And we talked about Genesis 49 verse 13, where it says, Zebulon shall dwell at the harbor of the sea, and shall be a harbor for ships. Now, Rotterdam, which is one of the largest cities in the Netherlands, is the largest port in Europe. Everybody's familiar with the story of the Dutch East Indian Company. And they built many ships and they organized many trips. Now, how do we know that the tribe of Zebulun came to that area? What we're told is there was a tribe that was located in Afghanistan, and they were called Zebulons. And that tribe eventually would become known as the Zebulon Goy. And they're referred to by Ptolemy, who said that they settled in Jutland, Jutland is Denmark, and they settled in northern Frisia. Now, Frisia is the ancient name for the area of Holland. Now, these people called the Zebulon Goys, basically their name was spelled with an S instead of a Z. But they were the same people, and the word Goy we mentioned means people or nations, and Zebulon is the tribe of Zebulon, so their name meant people of Zebulon. Now, that's the real history that the historians tell us, that these people called the Frisians came into that area and they settled. Now, the symbol of Holland in 1579, according to Jan Davies, was a ship. And the ship is the symbol that's carried forward by Zebulon. Now, it's interesting when you get to New York and you look at their coat of arms. They have a ship on their coat of arms. And that's because the people that settled that area was the Dutch. originally. So that was their symbol they brought to America. That's still on the coat of arms for New York State today. So now we want to talk about another one of Leah's children, Issachar. I want to just mention that Issachar was one of the brothers of Zebulon. The standard of Issachar is a set of stars. They are associated with the stars and the moon. These people were associated with the calendar. 1 Chronicles 12:32.
Of the sons of Issachar who had understanding of the appointed times to know what Israel ought to do. David needed someone who could look into the heavens and see that, and that's what we believe Issachar's talent was.
Now, Issachar would be very close to their brother Zebulon, and Zebulon would be the Dutch people, and they would travel to South Africa, Australia, and New Zealand. So Issachar would also go in the same areas. Now you'll notice that the flag of Australia and New Zealand and the coat of arms of New Zealand all have flag arraignments of stars.
Issachar is a strong donkey lying down between two burdens. He saw that rest was good and that the land was pleasant. And he bowed his shoulders to bear a burden and became a band of slaves.
Now the Encyclopedia Britannica mentions the Frisians, and they say that the Frisians in their first appearance of history was possessed by the same district of Europe they still live in. So far as we can judge, they never have been an aggressive disposition. They display no strong political individuality, but they allow themselves peacefully to emerge into more powerful nationalities. The Frisians that came into that area were a neutral people. They did not go to war. I believe that Switzerland is another area that Issachar settled. What do we know about the Swiss and watches?
Well, the Swiss timekeepers are the best on the planet.
Description of Issachar fits Switzerland to a T because they're a neutral country. They basically have always been involved with time, and they were the first ones to make the most accurate clocks and timepieces. Now Judah would have the symbol of the lion, and reading Genesis 49:9, Judah is like a lion's whip. Now you will see the symbol for the lion all over Britain and Europe, because many of the kings of Europe and Britain were from the tribe of Judah. Now after the fall of Jerusalem in 70 AD, many of the Jews would move into the area of Alexander, Antioch, and Rome. Some would eventually migrate to the area of southern Spain and be known as the Sephoric Jews. Now, the Sephoric Jews would be run out of Spain in 1492 by the Spanish Inquisition, and they would settle in the areas of Amsterdam, but mainly most of them would be in the area of Eastern Europe, especially in Poland. Now there's another tribe of Judah called Zerah that would migrate out of the land of Egypt into Ireland. Zerah was one of the sons of Judah. We know this because this is recorded in Irish history by Geoffrey Keating. According to legend, David's descendant, Tuffy, would travel with Jeremiah to Ireland and marry the king of Ireland. Now this is recorded in the genealogy of Queen Elizabeth. Now those Irish people would move out of Ireland into the area called the Highlands in Scotland, and they would be known as the Highlanders. So many of the Scotch-Irish people today are of Jewish descent.